Hi mom, good morning. Welcome back for today's session. So yesterday I gave an introduction regarding for today topic structures and views. So it plays a vital role in this concept, very important. See for example, if you want to start a company, okay, if you want to start a company, okay, so that company should possess all the elements as I said previously. So what are the elements? Okay, we have to verify the infrastructure. We have to verify the tie-ups between the other companies, outside communication, inside communication. We want to verify the employees. We want to verify the types of employees. And we want to verify the overall concept in terms of investment, in terms of the business, in terms of the profit, and along with the advertisement. Okay, so all this only can be formed as an architecture. Okay, so architecture is not a single component, I repeat, we know about this. It is a collection of a set of components, or we can say structures. Okay, so in this also we have lot of structures. For example, consider the employee structure. The employee maybe can be either the implementer or developer. The employee can be either tester or analyst or the presenter or the any other non person who is not relevant to our code. Okay, so all this can be possible, clear, and it is the one on which you see the work or nature of the employee. Okay, so based upon the nature of the employee, for example, we have implementer or developer. In this we have a different type of developers. Maybe he is a fresher, maybe he is a senior, maybe he is a manager, we don't know, right? So a lot of possibilities are there in this structure also, and what we are going to assign the responsibility to him, it's a very important, right? Okay, so in this concept we are going to learn about the different concepts in terms of structures in the architecture and in the different views by which you can divide the works of a structures, right? So in a broad view, we have three types of structures, as I said previously in the previous video. First one is a modules. Okay, so before that the other want to give an example, the other want to convey about this in terms of a human body. So for a human body we have a lot of doctors, gynecologists, pediatric, orthopedist. Okay, so a lot of doctors is there who will take care of the different parts in a body, right or wrong? So like this we have a different categories of a structures. So I given the introduction about this in the last class. Finally, what is the outcome? Together they describe the architecture of a human body. Who? The neurologist, the orthopedist, the hematologist, dermatologist, blah blah blah. Everybody is going to contribute their work in order to full-fledged your working of a human body, right? No. So with this example, what is the architecture of a software? What is architecture of a software? Is going to define in terms of three categories. One is the modules, next one is the components and connectivity, and last one is the allocation. Okay, so module, first we have to divide your architecture in terms of the modules. Later how these modules have to communicate, how to connect, have to decide. Later after connecting, what is the role of each module, we have to verify the allocation, right ma? Right, so how many modules we have? Three modules. One is a how many structures we have? Three structures. One is a module, next one is a component, connector, and finally the allocation, right? Okay, now so what are the main works of these three? The modules is going to verify the code, implementation section or developing section. The components are relevant to the connectivities. See, the system to structure as a set of elements that have runtime behavior. connectivity to get the output. If there is no connectivity at the time of the execution, how can you get the output? And the third one is allocation. See, if you want to execute your program, it is not easy one. For example, there is no memory, there is no processor, there is no hard disk, there is no RAM. Is it possible to execute a program? No. So each one have its own responsibility or the importance in this concept. So how it is going to store, how it is going to manage is going to verify by the allocation. Okay. So how the system is related to non-software structures in its environment. What are those? The CPUs, file system, networks, development teams, etc. etc. So these are all not a part of architecture, but they are going to play another important role in our total structure or architecture. Module structure. What it says? What it says? What is the main theme of this structure? If you say this, the total picture is going to combine with the help of a different modules. Okay, so each module may not be in the same shape, right? It depends upon your requirement and the responsibility. See, what are those? Here are the elements. The elements are the modules. So employees, business, outside distribution or advertisement, inside the infrastructure, investment. So all these are elements, nothing but the modules, which are units of implementation, your business, that is software company. So modules represent a code based way of considering the system. So in a broad view, how are you going to see the modules? Code based implementation, modules. So how the employee have to recruit, how the employee have to give the salary, how we have to pay the salary, how to verify the increments of the employee, how to allot this work to the employee. So all this comes under concept. Finally, so these are assigned areas of functional responsibilities. Yes. So these are all the responsibilities which leads to functioning of an architecture of a company. If the employee is not able to work full-fledgedly, how you can work? Not possible, right? So that is the responsibility of any module. Now, so module structures. So for everything, for example, if you take an college, your college, what is the use of the college? I will question you. Then what you say? To get the better degree, to identify as a graduate in our society, to impart the technical values to the society by you. Okay, to gain a job and to give a better life to your forthcoming generation or previous generation, your parents, to lead happy life. So these are all the answers for your question, why you need degree, BTech degree. So like this also, what is the need of these modules in our architecture? It's a big question. Okay, so how are you going to answer this? See, that is the questions. So our questions are, what is the primary functional responsibility assigned to each module? What is the work assigned to this module? If there is no work for this module, then what is the use of this module or the element to frame here? No need, right? Next one. So what other software elements is a module allowed to use? Does you allow any other elements to communicate with you? Or you are going to sole module to fulfill your requirement? Is it possible in architecture? No. If it is so, how you are going to impart your duties to other elements? That is a work. Okay. Now, how you are going to use other elements by you? Can you use the other elements in a friendly way or in a commanding way? We have to check this also. For example, there is a manager and the employee correlation. The manager will command, the employee will take an honor or any command of the manager. So it depends. It depends between the correlation and the responsibilities. Finally, what modules are related to each other modules? How they are going to relate to each other? How they are going to relate to each other? That's a big question, right? Either by generalization or relationships, inherent relationships. Or both are same. The senior employee is not equal as a junior employee. Okay. The manager is not equal to the normal employee. Difference is there. Okay, if you're going to, one is going to inherit from others. That's a big question. We have to check it. Okay. Now, next. So, Next one is the components or connector structures. Components are connector structure. So it is our components and connectors now. Every component or module have some connectivity. Right. What is the use of this? We have runtime components which are going to activate at the time of the runtime only, and we need the connectors. These components are useful to get the output or implement your architecture. In order to communicate by each module from one another, we have to start the connectors. If there is no connectors, for example, there are no functions. We have a functions, but there is no binding concept. There is no what is a parameter passing concept. How one module is going to communicate another? Not possible, right? So even though we have a components, they should be communicate each other. So which are communication vehicles among the components? Then what are the runtime components? Which are the principal units of computation, that is execution. Without them we can't execute. Okay, so these are the runtime components are which are the principal units of computation. Then what are the connectors? Which are the communication vehicles among components. Right. Now here also we have some questions as previously. So every connector or the component have to discharge their duties. What are those? How one is going to communicate with another. How the data is going to be shared between them. How to verify the data. Maybe there is a syntax semantics possibilities sharing. How they are going to get rid of. So all the questions we have to answer before developing your connectors. If you say this, what are the major executing components? How do they interact? So which components we have to give big role to execute your architecture, to fulfill your requirement for a company. Next one. Okay. Next one is what are the major shared data stores? How you are going to sharing this data? Next, which parts of a system are replicated? Is there any need of any replications? Means one module have to replaced by another, or one module have to used by many another. You have to answer. Next, how does data progress through the system? How data is going to move from which component to another? From which component to another, or by using which connectivity? Okay, pass by value, pass by reference, both are not same. Maybe both are for parameter passing only. Both are not at all same. We have to check that also. Next one, last one. What parts of a system can run in parallel? Is there any possible to execute run in parallel? Of course. The tester, the implementer may not able to run in parallel. Right? So after implementation only, the tester can do his work. But the requirement analyst along with the implementer can run in parallel. After every implementation or at the time of the implementation, the analyst can verify whether he is going in a better way or not. The requirement analyst. So with that, both can communicate each other and they can run the code or develop the code. Okay. So some modules may not able to run in parallel, but they can run in serial manner. Right? So how can the system structure change as it's executed? So does it's going to give the different way? For example, the employees were going to appreciate by using some some benefits in terms of a house, in terms of a foreign trips, in terms of a remunerations, etc., etc. If you're going to give that much flexibility to the employee, automatically the throughput of an employee is going to be good. Yes, he will enjoy this holidays amount, these houses. So with this he can do he can do the work more energetically. So like this, yes, automatically one module may change the another possibility is there. Okay, next third one, allocation structures. See, allocation structure is a very, very important, ma'am. So framing the structure is important. Of course, I can say. The framing the modules is also important, we can say. But writing the code, relevant code in one module should be very, very important. Should be analyzed writing a code. Okay, for example, I want to do some addition of two numbers in a global nature. Okay, I want to reflect the values of these A, B values anywhere if you modify in the code. Then how? We have to declare these variables either inside of a function or outside of a function. You should check that. I am saying that this should be inside of a function. No, right? No, it should be outside of a function as a global parameters. right? So I'm going to allocate these variables in a global nature. So with that only they can take any value from any function inside of the code, right? So that is a importance of this allocation structure. Now see, so I have some 100% value, but I want to allocate some work to this person, some work to this person, some work to this person, some work to this person. All are not at all same. Based upon the importance, based upon the concept, I am going to allocate this person more value, lesser than this person, lesser than red. I am going to allocate some work, lesser than this I am going to allocate this work. Right? Now, first one. So allocation structure shows the relationship between the software elements and the elements. Software elements and the elements, right? Next, in one or more external environments in which the software is created and executed, we have to check. Both are not same. And the questions you want to answer for this. The questions we want to answer for this is, what processor does each software element execute on? What processor does each software element execute on? So which processor you want to execute? On which data we want to execute? On which type we want to execute? We have to check that. On which application we have to execute? We have to allocate that value to the module, and we have to write or implement that code in that possibility only. In what files in each element should stored during development, testing and system building? Are going to store your code same in all same files? No. See, if you are going to write the C programming or Java programming, we used to use the extension called as the .java. Okay, but after converting or compiling, that code is going to convert into OBJ file or bytecode in Java. After that, we are going to execute that code in terms of executable files. See, if you see C files with extension, we used to get .c, .bak, .exe. What is exe file? Executable file. So after framing from one form to another, source code, object code, destination code. So three are not at all same. They have their own format and they have their own extensions. Okay, so all are same? No, we are going to allocate each priority work based upon your requirement as a C file or an object file or backup file or executable file. It depends. Okay, and finally, what is the assignment of software elements to development teams? So how you are going to assign your development, your work to teams? Is it a single team? No, maybe multiple teams are working in a architecture. The team also may not contain the same type of people. So one is a team leader, one is an analyst, one is a developer, one is a tester, one is a requirement analyst, or user also will form in that. So for all teams there should be a manager. Right, ma? So for every allocation we should verify where to allocate, how to allocate and what to allocate. Right. See, this is a sub-components of these structures. Final figure I can say. For each module, how we have to question ourselves how to decompose these modules if there is any requirement. How to give the class. How to give the class. Very, very important, ma. One module is not going to contain the same code as another. They are going to working on, for example, one module is for taking input. One module is only for taking processing. One module is only for output. Okay, so which class they used to belong? What is the use of this? Are you getting a better output? Are you getting a better output for this? Or it's a useless? We have to check that. And what is a users layered? Can you recheck or justify your users in terms of layer? First use, second use, third use, fourth use. Is it possible to you? We have to check for all the modules concept. While coming to component and connector, so that connectivity may be client server, that connectivity may be program process concept, that connectivity may be shared data. Each one can share the data. That connectivity may be concurrency. All can execute at the same time. How you can communicate, how you going to connect with each other, that is nothing but the modules. And finally, allocation. How you are going to assign your work, how you are going to deploy. Deploy is also one of the category of the assignment. Okay, and finally, how you are going to implement this. because after allotment only we can start implementation. Hope you understood. So in this module we have 4 concepts to learn. One is the decomposition, next one is the uses, one is the class. In the uses we have one more, layered. In the components and connectivity, how are you going to connect? Either client server way or process program way or shared way or concurrency way. 4. 3 plus 4 plus 3. In an allocation, how you are going to work assign is going to done. How you are going to deploy that, how you are going to implement that. Right? Right. Now we will see one by one. Okay. First one, module structure in detail. First component is modules. In that how many we have? 4. So module based structures include the following: decomposition, uses, class or generalization, or layered one. See, one by one we will see. I will repeat. 4. Decomposition, uses, class or generalization, or layered one. First one, decomposition. We have to divide if there is any necessity. We have to divide. See, if you want to build a house, if you want to build a not house, I want to what I can say in a software means yeah, we will take house only. Okay, I want to build a house. What are the main steps in a house building? First we have to check the plot. Later we have to plot how you are going to get, either by with your own money or by applying a loan from the company, bank. Okay, first task, decomposition. Later we have to start a builder. Okay, if you have to hire a builder, that builder is going to take some amount initially, some amount later, or total amount in advance. We have to check that. Later we have to start in construction. Later we have to pay the amount, clear the loan in order to get your house. So after that we are going to get the house when we are going to pay total amount. We have to pay, before that we have to get some agreements from a government. Okay, some agreements from the government. So all the works are subparts of a house building or house construction. See, so anything can be decomposable. Okay, big unsolved problems are divided into specific solutions or sub problems, I can say. Sub problem 1, sub problem 2, sub problem 3. If we are going to combine all these, get solution for all these, we are going to get the biggest solution. Right? See, so how they are going to relate each other? The submodules is going to be related in terms of is a submodule of top modules contain. Top modules, we are going to use the word contains. The top module contains submodules. The submodule is a module of, submodule of, we have to use the words. Yes. So the units is a submodule of relation larger module decomposed into smaller ones recursively. Modules often have associated products, that is they need interface, code, test plans. Of course, we given that. This decomposition structure provides a large part of system modifiability. Yes, we need to change. We have to, we will do. Right? Now next, uses. What are the uses of this? How we are going to use this? If you have a brain, if you can use the brain properly, then use is also very, very effective. If you don't have brain, for not applying any brain at the time of the company, what is the use of your architecture? Totally collapse after constructing total, after completion of the implementation. The units are related by the uses relation. The units, how one relation is going to using by another. How one relation is going to useful to another. Both are same. Okay. So one unit uses another. If the correctness of first requires the presence of a second one. So if one requires another, automatically one is going to using another one. Next, class or generalization. So we have to divide our total concept in terms of classes, which I said previously. One is employee, one is a business, one is advertisement, one is a profit, one is accounts, like this. See, so it is a dog, but to which class it is going to belong, we have to check. Okay. So the class structure allows to reason about reuse and the incremental addition of the functionality. So if you want to add functionality to the dog, what are the features you want to include? It's going to bark. Its life is 12 years. Okay, the food is something non-veg or some veg, very healthy food. We have to take care of in every month. So these are the things. So we have to check it whether this type of category of modules we have in this architecture, so that we can combine at one place, like dog. So even though these structures are different, but the theme, main functionality is a dog only, right? Next one, layered. Yeah, how you are going to present your users? Single way or multiple way? That is your wish. So layers are often designed as abstractions that hide implementation specifies below from the layers above, engendering repeatability. Means you can divide your work in terms of layers. Next, component and character structures. So I will explain this in next classes, ma. Okay. So in the next class we will learn about this. If not, I will make another video. It's become lengthy video, so we should cut this. In next class we will explain about this. Right, ma? So till then, have a nice day. Bye.